Mermito. It has been a while since we've been in the green at all. And yeah, work in progress, as per always. My Wookiees are all cozied up. And my ducks are just having a blast. So, we are in the Rune garden. And, pretty much on the eve of Imok, or time of the frost, early spring, here in the southern hemisphere, which will be the time of Lu, or the deluge, and water and rain up in the northern hemisphere, or time of the humid, because it's still quite warm up there. And that is the 1st of August, when the season really kicks in, according to how the planets rotate. But anyway, as you can see, my ducks are very happy. I just poured out the tub, put some fresh water this morning, and ducks to water, man. There's a reason for this. Hello, my little buffy duck. Hello. I often refer to my boys as buffhead in the most affectionate terms, ways, because they buff out their heads and they puff up. They look so cute. Look at Fendry. Are you having fun, Fen? Oh, it's a pretty girl. Fendry. Oh, you're so cute. Duck life. I swear. If I got to choose coming back, I'd come back as a duck to owners who spoil me like this. He's so darn stinking cute. I love mud. What are you doing, Mr. Frowen? Oh, my buffy boy. Yeah, he's such a sweetheart. He's so big. All ducks, domestic ducks, descend from mallards. You can tell with fawns colouring here, but he's like literally 3 times the size as a duck you'd see in the wild, a mallard. Because domesticated ducks are quite heavy, that's why they don't fly, usually. There's always exceptions to the rule. But look at Frigg. Oh, Mr. Frigg, look at that butt. Now, this is not another duck post, but it's so easy to get distracted. I mean, look at them. Bella, 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 bella. They follow me everywhere. I love it. So, I am slowly building up tools. What is it? Is it a plane? Is it a plane? Look at them sounding the alarm. Is it a plane? Oh, the bird. It's a plane. No, it's a plane. So anyway, I'm slowly building up my tools as finance permits, and also time to use and implement them as well. And I can't wait for the warmer weather. It's been a really harsh winter, midwinter, and I haven't been prepared for it as per the last year. More prepared for this one gone than I was last year, but still not there, and partly because of all the debacle with the rental property I'm in, with them doing things like not repairing a leaking roof for nearly a year. Not fun. But anyway, so I'm slowly building up my tools. As I get my tool shit together, I'll be able to get more done as well. So I literally have all my star stakes that I need for the in-ground semi-attached greenhouse over there, which is 4 meters. It sort of hides a bit behind this fence at the back, which is deliberate because I want that to not be so blazing when it's warm. I've also got another 4 meter over there behind the chook run and house, which is hidden again because it's between my wall of the house and the fence line of the neighbour, and it's a 4 meter depth as well. So what we're looking at here is a whole lot of cardboard, and this bed here, which is my legume tunnel, and I already have I would believe it's a lavender streamer that's self-seeded from last year, which I'm stoked about. I do have some seeds going in the greenhouses ready. I will actually be chicken wiring the back of this bed in sections so my ducks don't get to it. They don't do much damage, believe it or not. They will go for young things, succulents and leaf holes, or just walk on things in there. They're pretty klutzy, and I don't mind their klutz. I think it's kind of cute. They're very endearing. Ducks are just beautiful. Look at them. I wish people had ducks and chooks like they did cats and dogs. I think we're over reliant on having cats and dogs as pets. And your birds do alarm you if someone's in your area or backyard. They're very social, and if you treat them right, you'll become part of their flock. Or they see themselves as part of yours. The big bird here, but I got distracted with the birds. I mean, just look, they're so cute. Plants. Okay, so plants here in the room garden. So this strip here, so I've got this old wonky looking bits of metal that is part of a raised garden bed barrier, and I've just used that in here as I built this. There was nothing here, and I've just slowly built the soil up. I've been growing things. I've got the Besser bricks at the front. So my plan is to star picket all the way down here and actually get fence paling wood and do a proper garden bed edge where the metal, is warping. It was only meant to be a temporary thing anyway. Needless to say, I do need to get mulch and pebbles to do the pathways and everything, but that will hold. Finance-wise and also time-wise, I just can't do it now. Some of the tools I want to get are a priority. On that list is a new driver and drill, a wood chip mulcher, and then lots of little bits. So I've got a sledgehammer coming in, a new one. It's a 5.4 kilo. I recently got a 90 centimetre wrench, crowbar, or a wrecking bar. And so I've got the you're distracting. So I've got the sledgehammer coming in, and that's to help me drive those star pickets in. But I also have a picket driver. So it's like a square mallet-looking device that you put over the star, because as you know, it's forked at the top, and you smash it down. It just helps drive it evenly. And it's got a handle, so you hold on one side as you smash with the other with the hammer or whatever you're using. So I've got that coming in. And finally, I've got clip locks from my barbells and dumbbells, because at the moment I've got these really annoying tiny spring grips. I don't mind the bigger ones, but still they're a bit of a pain in the ass. I prefer the clips. So my bars aren't Olympic, so it's a typical 25 or 25 millimeter. For the Olympic bars, if you've got Olympic bar weights, you need a 50 millimeter clips. But anyway, I've got some of those coming in, thankfully. And I also need to replace and get new weights and things like that, but that's also going to keep. At the moment, I'm still getting my stretching routine together, and kind of really focusing now on getting furniture in the house that needs to be replaced and old stuff to get rid of and better storage and that sort of thing. Once I've done that, then I can focus on, decking out my gym and weights and things like that, and getting through this shed. This shed is perfect for skating, and to be frank, I just need to clean it up and all that sort of thing, clear it out. But back to here. So yeah, tools. I've got quite a bit of tools. And it's one of those things, isn't it? When you do so many different things, it takes time to accrue things, and you got to focus on a couple of areas at a time, not everything at once. So at the moment, I'm slowly collecting my tools, and as I collect my tools, I'm also, every time I get things from my ducks and chooks, such as feed, hay, straw, sawdust. I also order some star pickets on the side or extra hay to do the actual what I'm going to talk about now. Such a long waffling intro. Oh no, I'm sorry. But anyway, we're getting to the meat and potatoes now, so to speak. I know, vegan, but still, it's the same. So this garden bed here is a legume tunnel. As you can see, there's 2 bricks high on the right hand side, and it goes down to 1. I'm actually going to get more bricks and build it up so it's all 2 bricks high. I'm also painting the bricks red. I'm carrying on the Scandinavian theme of red, fire engine red or sunrise red, and white runes over the top. Also, I'm actually considering though of doing something different with the runes, and that is painting white strips of wood and staking them in a specific way. So building up, hang on, the fuzz bucket. Miss Fox, I can see your fluffy backside. Yeah. Hey, you get your ass back inside. Come on. Sorry, doggy. Shah. Come on, you. Get inside. Oh, you little mess. She's good, really, but you know, cats. You gotta keep on them. They have little spunky, sort of defiant natures, which I like. The fire contrary needs to be sort of kept a little on a bit. You don't want cats being wild and feral. Anyway, digressed. Oh, my puppies. Anyway, so yeah, so I'm buying a few. So today I'm using 45 centimeter star pickets for the garden beds. However, I'm getting 70 or 700 millimeter star pickets for what I'm doing here, and that is I'm actually creating my oh God, I can't talk this morning. My potato tower here, but also I'm actually making a compost bin, but the difference is with my compost bin is going to be made out of straw. Now, as you can see, I have ducks. Run, Freya, run! Oh, frig, hornbag. Run, 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 run! Run, 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 run! You make him work for it, girl. Go on, make him work for it. Oh, run, 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 run. Make him work for it. God, it's so funny. Anyway, distracted again. So I'm making it out of straw. Now, as you can see, I've got ducks. Now, the thing with ducks, and yeah, this is how they do it. The thing with ducks, they will, in the pursuit of investigating their bales of hay, they will actually make holes in the bales and probably mess it up, and I want to keep it all together because the hay will actually work or straw will work to insulate and keep the compost warm. As you know, it's the heat that helps break things down. Now, I go through so much bedding with my birds, so I clean the bedding out every morning, the birds, ducks and chooks. So I've got the bed inside. Did you score, Mr. Freak? You just score. You didn't whistle, honey. You didn't whistle. Whistle, whistle. Did you score? Such a dude. Where's Freya? Where'd she go? Freya. Oh, she's over there behind the birch tree. So anyway, so the way I'm going to counteract that is I was going to use hardware cloth because I need to finish off the back panels there of the runs in hardware cloth. I've just got chicken wire there at the moment. I prefer hardware cloth because the sparrows can't get in there and make a mess and eat the food of the chooks. And it's better for limiting rodents getting in there as well. You will get the odd rodent in there, as long as they're not in the actual bed at night for the chooks or rampant in the runs. I'm okay with it. It's a balance, isn't it? Every now and again I'll find a dead one because my chooks will actually kill it and sometimes eat it. Yeah, chickens actually eat rodents sometimes, quite funny. So the way I'm going to counteract duck demolition of my compost is actually using wire. I've got 2 wires. I've got this one here that I'm actually wanting to use for this. Will be a semi-cover greenhouse for trees, potted trees. So I've got basically 3 greenhouses. One is semi-covered, and the other 2 are semi-attached and closed off. One is in ground, one is shelved, and that is kind of the different growing environments I want to propagate my seedlings, trees and herbs and plants in general. So I'm actually going to use one of the wires. So I think for moldability, the hardware cloth will probably be the easiest and best to work with. We're looking at, how am I going for time? Good, let me take my time with this post. Hello babies. Oh, you're so beautiful. Bella, bella, bella. Bella, bella, bella. Oh, you're so fluffy. You're so squidgy. And you know what? She's as squidgy as she looks. She's just so squidgy. Ooh, you're so pretty. Bella, bella. So when I pick her up, she's just so round. You have to use both hands and really support her. Oh, so let's go have a look at this hardware cloth. So you can get an even finer hardware cloth. Now this supply, I'm so thankful that I found that supply my bits for my birds, such as sawdust, feed and hay. And they've got the star pickets. They also sell rolls of barbed wire and fencing. So I'm so glad, and they deliver to. In the position I'm in now, I'm not driving, so I can't really, get about myself. So it's really helpful at this point in my life. So this is the hardware cloth here. It is a 10 or 10 mil or 1 centimeter square, which is kind of good. You can get even finer. It's nice and sturdy. It bends really easy. It's good to work with. So much easier to work with than chicken wire. Chicken wire is cheap though, and if it's all you can afford at the time, it's all you can afford. It's better than not. So as you can see, this panel is only half. I need to cut up a fresh panel. This panel here, I'm just going to reuse it, as well as this panel over here, which is also covering half, to do part of the construction. So I'm going to use chicken wire to edge the actual bales of hay. Now these are the bales I will be using. It's compressed hay. Now I could be lazy and leave them like that compressed, or spend a bit of time, and because the other thing I will be doing is sharing when I do it. Now this is kind of a chat post, brainstorming, sharing my ideas and where I'm at in the Rune garden post. I wouldn't mind doing start doing some posts where I'm actually doing this stuff and just recording it somehow. I just don't have the equipment or the camera to do it, yada yada. So it is what it is for now, but it is something I'd like to do. So it's something people can look at for themselves to do or get ideas from. So I'm actually going to, I built gabions. So gabions are, if you ever see a cage with rocks in it and a garden bed, basically it's a cage of rocks, a cage to hold any media in, using as a barrier, be a garden bed edge or an actual wall barrier to divide things. So some of the most beautiful, probably one of the most beautiful ways I see it being used, I've built 2 at the front, and I've got a tree in each on either side of my doorway, an elderberry. One of the nicest ideas I've seen is actually using a gabion to hide a compost bin. I think it's kind of sweet. But there's a few ideas I've got as a landscape designer that I would actually do differently. So the thing about being a horticulturist, we're not gardeners. We garden, but we use a scientific method, and there's a lot of study involved. So we don't do things based on so and so says. We actually go through the science, and there is so many areas to study within the topic itself that you do need at least a year behind you in just constant study. And even then you're not going to be on where you want to be at in the area if you're worth any of your salt. And that's not saying you're dumb or anything, it's just that when you're starting to do taxonomy, botanical science, you're doing morphology, you're doing agronomy, soil, etc., each of those subjects alone is just like stacks and stacks of things to study and work and do. But I'm gonna have to finish off my recording because someone's here. So anyway, I'm actually thinking of doing a gabion version, but with hardware cloth, so that way I'm not using the bale so chunky, and I'm actually able to do my design better. And I'll do the same with the potato towel. But anyway, I've got to go because the delivery guy is here. I can hear the clattering of the tray of the ute. Oh no. Or is it idiots with the zipper? I say that as I'm getting one myself. The other thing too is with horticulture, when I did erecting timbers at uni, there's a big focus on PPE, personal protective equipment, which I think is good. And it's not my delivery gun. And so I will be utilising and putting that in my videos as well, because I think it's important. There's even, we complain a bit about Victoria being over-regulated, but in some areas it's good. I think in areas such as work, health and safety, I think it's pretty bloody good here. So to operate a chainsaw, you do actually need a qualification to show that you can operate one safely. And part of that is actually knowing how engines work, which I don't know. I find it, I actually do like it. I was joking with someone at uni when they were talking about machines and engines and two-strokes, etc. And there was an online lecture which I think went for 4 hours, and the guy's face was like, ooh. And I said, don't lie, you love it. And he's like, oh, yeah, he's found the topic really uninteresting. But deep down I'm like, hey, I like it. So I actually do want to do that course next year, so operating chainsaws, and have that certification. Not so much that I got certification for it, that I know I can do it safely, and that also I'm strong enough. So I've got work to do with my training to get to that point. Here she is, my hawk. Hello, sweetie. Amazing things. I'm out here so they're not running so much. The ducks are so funny. Duck life. Probably good I'm out here while that noise is going on, because that's one sense my ducks sort of don't have at the moment is sound, because of the bloody annoying sound of everything going. Oh, Buffy, he's starting to get a buff head. His head's buffing out. Hello, Bella, Bella, Bella. Hello. Oh, got a bit of sunshine. That feels beautiful. Hey, Mr. Freak. This is, half-hour recording. Sorry, guys. So, I think that's good and it's important. There is an underbelly, if you like, of she'll be right sort of attitude here when it comes to work health and safety, and some really bad accidents can happen from that. And I think there's nothing more disheartening, especially if it happens to a young person. It's bad for anybody, but a young person, just because their boss, has often in a traineeship sort of scenario, they've just left them to their own devices and haven't trained them up properly, or invested in them, to do something like a chainsaw course. And I think I think in that sort of scenario, I think these sorts of bosses should probably even go to jail because it's negligent, you know, especially if you have a young and trainee that you're training up, and you know your work health and safety is bullshit. You don't even practice it yourself. You don't know what it is, and so that does need to change. You shouldn't never if you have young people, especially working for you, or you got trainees, even if they're not young, they're just new. They might be older and they're starting a new career. You know, you should never leave them unattended alone, ever. Especially in this sort of area. I mean, you're working with tools, chemicals, and all sorts, and nah, not good. So anyway, enough of that. So PPE is important. So I will be bringing that up. Now I haven't really thought through the layout, how I'm going to deliver everything, but what I may do is even with the projects like this, so when it comes to the potato towel, I might do a project sheet and put it up in my blog site and link it to the video recording of me talking through it or something like that. I might do that, and in that I'll include the PPE. PPE means personal protection equipment, if anyone's wondering what that is. There are minimums for things, and yeah, so I will add that too. I love my ducks. But while we're here, so I can't wait. So this is one of those typical compost bins, you know, you just dig it into the ground and you build it up and then you move it. So it's just sitting there for now. This is where I had my old semi-potato tower that I started, and then I just never really got to finish once I moved in here. So I'll do a proper squared off one here, and also compost bin. So the idea is I want to be able to walk through my legume tunnel straight to my potato tower at the back, and also compost bin. And so what I've got right now as in flooring is I've just reused the paper bags from shopping, wet them down. I've just got some things on there so they don't blow about, to make a flooring that will kill off the grass underneath. Hello my darlings. So today I've got extra bales of hail coming, and I am planning to finally finish those panels at the back there today, and bring out the excess hardware cloth out here to actually do these the potato tower project, and also get that erected, and also the the bale or hay or straw compost tower erected as well. So I'll be making that up. So anyway, I'll take photos of it as I go, and thanks for hanging out with me and my duckies. What you got there, Mr. Fawn? What is he? Oh, he's such a goofy boy. Baby duck. Ooh, he's such a sook. Look at his curly whirl. Here's his curly whirl. Fendry. Hello, my beauty. Mr. Free. Mr. Free. The boys make really soft noises, don't they? Compared to the girls who just honk honk. Bella, 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 bella. Oh, bella, 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 bella. Bella, bella. Bella, bella. My little babies. He's so puffy. That's the being merry part. This is going to cut out. So while it cuts out. What you doing, Siggy? You helping? Oh, my little buffhead. My little fawn. He was so cute. Yeah, Mr. Free. Mr. Free. Look at his curly whirl. Little moustaches on their tails. So cute. What you doing? Baba. Baba. Duck life, man. You guys make me so happy. Yeah, you do. You do. You're a lot of work, but you make me happy. Anyway, blessed be and merry pass. Stay tuned for finally getting green stuff done as it starts to warm up again. Thank you. Whisper Beep and Merry Pass.